Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studio. I'm Sonal Bhutra. With me as always is Vivek Iyer. Decent gains from the lows. The Nifty is up almost 100 points. It was higher at a point in time, has come up from those levels. But yes, after 3 days of selling, there is some green on the screen. Midcaps are outperforming today. 0.8% higher there. Advance decline ratio absolutely in favor of advances. But of course, the big question, will we sustain at these levels?
That's right. Good afternoon, Sonal. And that's the, million-dollar question given the kind of volatility we've seen this week. But the rate cut is something that has aided sentiment, especially as far as our markets are concerned. A lot lined up on the show, an important corporate conversation as well. So let's start off with the top headlines. Market marginally off days high after myriad cues like a Fed rate cut, US seizing a Venezuelan oil tanker, and hopes of a resolution of India-US trade differences play off. Private banks, pharma and autos lead broad market recovery.
The US House has passed the National Defense Authorization Act, moving the Biosecure Act, which restricts biotech contracts to countries like China, closer to law. Local contract drug makers see this as a positive step that can drive a shift to India.
DCM Shriram surges over 9% as the company enters into a strategic MOU with Bayer Crop Science for a future-ready agriculture across India. We will be speaking to the management shortly. Stay tuned.
Shares of Uptown trade under pressure, taking its losses to over 20% in 2 sessions after the company calls off its proposed preferential issue of shares.
And Shakti Pumps trades higher after securing a 400 crore rupee order for supply of solar water pumps from the Maha Electricity Distribution Company.
All right, those are the top headlines that we are tracking. We've been pointing out how mid-caps have outperformed today. Even the small-cap index is up 0.6%, outperforming the benchmark indices. The auto index higher, Pharma too giving it some company, and private banking index, the other gainer in our markets today. So let's talk about the mid-cap movers that we have in our markets today. Sudarshan is here to take us through the mid-caps that are moving around in trade. Sudarshan.
So yesterday we saw a big fall in all the capital market names, but today all these companies are trading with healthy gains, and that is on the back of the healthy equity inflows we have seen for the month of November. And also there was a positive commentary related to India-US trade deal updates from Chief Economic Advisor. You can take a look at KFIN, BSE, Angel One, Nuvama, 361. All these stocks are trading with a gain in the range of 2 to 5%. Now, EMS companies, over the last few trading days, we have seen a different kind of moves. One day it was up, Keynes Technology, another day it was down, then next day it was up again. But it seems that these companies, Dixon Technologies, Keynes, PG Electroplast, are seeing buying at the lower levels after a big fall that these stocks have seen. Now, some of the other mid-cap gainers, Divi's is seeing buying. Because of that, we have got from US Congress likely to have approved Biosecure Act, and that will be positive for most of the CDMO names of Indian companies like Divi's, Laurus Labs, Piramal Pharma, Sai Life, and there are some other companies too. Vodafone Idea is hovering around its FPO price of 11 rupees per share on an expectation of relief package. If you remember, Telecom Minister had said that by the end of this month or by the end of 2025, there will be certain kind of announcement related to relief package. Sona BLW, there was a positive note after non-deal roadshows. Investec has come out with a note increasing the target price to 560 rupees per share versus earlier target of 505 rupees per share. And following that, this stock also is saying buying, currently up almost 4%. Ola Electric is reacting completely opposite to the news. So the news was that S&P has downgraded the rating of its parent company, that is ANI Technologies, which holds around 3.6% stake in the company as of September 2025. Even Vahan data is not indicating anything positive for Ola Electric, but the stock is saying buying. It's up almost 8%. Rico Auto has seen an up move after falling for 9 consecutive days. Today, this stock is higher with healthy volumes, currently up almost 13%. Some of the mid-cap losers, Supreme Industries, today Citi has come out with a note on pipe companies. It has initiated coverage on Astral and Supreme Industries. For Astral, it has a buy call with a target of 1800, but for Supreme Industries, it has a sell call with a target of 2900. And after that, this stock is under pressure, down almost 3%. Prime Focus and Vanke's, if you remember yesterday, both these stocks were higher, somewhere in the range of 7 to 10%. Now today, these two stocks are under pressure, currently down almost 4% each.
Well, thank you so much, Sudarshan, for joining us, giving us a detailed rationale. why some of the stocks in the broader end of the markets are seeing such strong moves. Well, it's a good time to welcome Rajesh Palria from Axis Securities for a quick technical check on the market. Good afternoon, Rajesh. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, Rajesh, two questions. Number one, where do you see markets go from here on? And number two, what are top stock picks today?
Good afternoon. So market is very volatile. We have seen that, Nifty has taken the dip around its 50-day moving average, and almost 25,700 was breached in intraday opening itself. But 25,700 is the key level to watch for the near-term setup, as 50-day moving average is acting as a good support area. And if we draw the upsloping channel on weekly chart, almost support is coincide with the same level. So till Nifty is holding above 25,700, 750 zone, some pullback action cannot be ruled out, as market was oversold. If we look at the PCR ratio, it was also around 0.75, 0.80 kind of level. So from oversold trajectory, it's a technical pullback is taking place. But again, on the higher side, the major call concentration is placed at around 25,900, 26,000 strikes. So these levels may act as a resistance. So range bound activity would be there in index, but stock specific recovery would be there because of most of the stocks are in oversold trajectory. So some recovery would be there in the stock specific. So one can focus on stocks. Index would be in range of 25,700 to 26,000. But Bank Nifty is showing a sign of strength. Here we could see some more continuity of uptrend and possible extension of pullback towards 59,600, 700 we could see in the near term perspective. So one can remain on the long side of trade with Bank Nifty with stop loss of 59,100. This is the important level to watch for as a stop loss. On the stocks front, two stock idea both on the buying side. First one is Samvardhana Motherson. Stock is in upsloping channel on a weekly chart. A series of higher top, higher bottom formation is taking place. So looking at the setup for Samvardhana Motherson, we believe that this stock has potential to extend its gain. So we are projecting target of 128 to 130. On the downside, one needs to keep stop loss towards 115. And second stock is from the banking basket, that is Federal Bank. Clear outperformance in this counter, almost trading at all-time high trajectory. We believe that this outperformance can take further higher to stock towards 268 to 270. So one can buy Federal Bank with stop loss of 256.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Rajesh, for joining in. So those are some technical elements, technical calls to watch out for. Let's slip into a break. When we come back, we'll get to the management of DCM Shriram to discuss their latest MOU with Bayer Crop Sciences on the other side. Stay tuned.
"26 years of CNBC TV18.
Welcome back. Let's talk about DCM Shriram. The stock is buzzing in trade after signing an MOU with Bayer Crop Sciences. We are joined by Sanjay Chabra, the Executive Director and Business Head of Shriram Farm Solutions at DCM Shriram, which is one of the segments that DCM Shriram operates in. Mr. Chabra, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in. Well, this is collaboration across areas such as agri inputs, you have digital advisory, sustainable farming practices and value chain strengthening as well. There will also be possibilities for partnership across select areas of the chemicals business. If you can begin by explaining to us what is the intent behind this MOU, will this be generating some revenues, or in future will you be looking at some more tie-ups or JVs with Bayer Crop Sciences for it to convert to some revenues?
Thank you, Sonal, for having me. First of all, let me just explain that DCM Shriram, more than 50% of DCM Shriram's revenues as well as bottom line comes from agri businesses. And part of these agri businesses is the output, which is sugar business, and a large part is also agri inputs business, which is Shriram Farm Solutions and Bioseeds. And as you're aware, Bayer is one of the world's largest and the most efficient crop solution company, which comes up with research and development in the area of seeds and crop protection, we could very well see that there is a synergy as, for example, Shriram Farm Solutions is India's largest wheat seed player. And we have a deep-rooted research in the wheat crop, whereas Bayer has research in other crops. So both the organizations feel that right now the biggest challenge facing the farmers is climate change, and we need to come up with new technology solutions to help the farmers deal with this climate change. And the primary intent of this collaboration is to, since we are both like-minded organizations, and we believe that it's our responsibility to make sure that we bring in new technology products to farmers. So the MOU basically emphasizes that we'll sit down and look at the synergies and how can we work together. So that's broadly the approach of this MOU. And not just new technology products, also how to reach to, because these new technology products have to be taken to the farmers, and farmers have to adapt these new technologies. And there also, Decent Shriram has a deep-rooted presence in the rural areas. Bayer Crop Science has an equally good presence, and plus Bayer has an initiative called Better Life Farming Alliance, which actually reaches the hinterland and the poorest of poor farmers. So we believe that if we work together in all these areas, there's a much greater possibility of coming out with synergistic output.
Okay, we get that point completely, Mr. Chabra. You fleshed out the intent of this particular, partnership that you have. Can you flesh out some more details in terms of number one, the kind of products or solutions that you intend to come out with? Will you be forming a separate company for this? What will be the partnership that you and Bayer will have? And also, will it also be separated in terms of geography? Will you look at specific parts of India and they look at other parts?
First of all, the nitty-gritty will now be worked out, because there are a lot of areas where we bring in strengths and a lot of areas where they bring in strengths. So I cannot right now, it will be too early for us to get into the nitty-gritty, which is still to be worked out. But at the same time, the products, largely the areas will be crop protection. In the area of seeds, these will be large areas where we will be doing this collaboration.
Okay. Mr. Chhabra, the point is we're trying to understand the revenue potential or the impact on PNL or the balance sheet is for the fact that the stock is excited. So we're trying to understand what are the opportunities available with this MOU in future because of this MOU that you have entered into. Will there be any cross-selling opportunities you will see? Will it bring you more business? Will it bring you more profits is what we are trying to understand. How is it positive for your financials?
So whatever you said, it will bring in all that, but it's not going to be. I would not be able to put a timeline to it, because this primarily brings in resilience in both the organizations. We will benefit from technologies in which they are very good at an international scale, and they would benefit from things that we bring to the table. I would not say that, right now we are in a position to say that what kind of a revenue impact it will bring.
Okay, Mr. Chabra, thank you so much for joining us. Next time when you do join us, a lot more details is what we're looking for. Street is clearly excited about this particular opportunity, the geographies, whether there are any tech transfers involved, all of which I'm sure you will have a lot more details for us when you join us next. We wish you all the best for this particular partnership to do quite well. Moving on, having a look at the market, one particular stock that's clearly recovered and now trading near the day's highest points is Indigo. Remember, Indigo actually went ahead and cut its Q3 performance guidance, and despite that particular stock, which has seen significant selling pressure in the last 5 to 6 trading sessions, today has recovered quite sharply, now almost 1% higher. The other set of stocks that are doing quite well, of course, are the entire pharma pack, so names like Divi's Labs, Laurus Labs, Syngene, Piramal Pharma, the US Biosecure Act now coming closer to fruition, and on the back of that, you're seeing a lot of these names doing quite well. Divi's Labs higher by over 2%. The other set of stocks doing well, of course, have a look at a name like Grasim. That particular stock has now shifted to the day's highest point. And when you're talking about some of the names from the metal pack, that is one particular pack actually that held the market higher. So names like Tata Steel, Jindal will be in focus, especially after the kind of significant news flow in terms of capex that you saw coming out from Tata Steel. But with that, we'll slip into a short break. We'll get you more on the markets and stock-specific action on the other side. Stay tuned.
"26 years of CNBC TV18.
Welcome back. Well, let's talk about some stocks. Polycab and Keynes Tech, these two stocks are in focus on the back of some brokerage notes. Upasana is joining us with all the details. Upasana?
Well, first up, let me start with Keynes. Certainly, it's been the stock on our radar since the 5 straight trading sessions. Now, company, after its investor call, has given a certain clarification on the back of which brokerages have given a mixed view. Now, today, let us talk about the Nomura. It has given a buy call on the stock with a target price of 5,455 per share. Now, company has realigned the growth target due to smart meter challenges, and the brokerage believes that the growth drivers need reassessment given the significant working capital drag. Cash flow improvement remains a key monitorable for the investors. Now, management addresses the accounting and the collection concerns in smart meters, and the smart meter revenue contribution is expected to decline sharply through FY28 is what the management has also guided. Hence, the brokerage has maintained a buy rating on the stock with a lower target price due to moderated growth outlook. Now, coming to Polycab, Morgan Stanley has given an overweight rating on the stock with a target price of 8,672 per share. It believes that the volume growth remains healthy despite the rising commodity prices, and the strong demand is seen across the segments such as power T&D, renewables, solar rooftop, real estate, infrastructure, and even data centers. Now, the brokerage believes that the company is well placed to deliver power and optical fiber cables, and company plans to diversify exports to Middle East, Latin America, and Africa, which is on track on back of this. Now, brokerage expects margin at the upper end of the company's guidance, that is 12 to 14% in the near term, and also it believes that the execution of BharatNet project to start Q3 FY26 is what the company has guided will be the key monitorable going forward. So all in all these stocks remain on our radar today.
Thank you so much, Upasana, for joining us and taking us through all of the details as far as both Keynes are clearly a stock that's been so volatile over the last few trading sessions, and Polycab as well. Well, a couple of stocks from the broad end of the markets, that are hitting the screen with very strong volumes. Have a look at Neogen Chemicals. That particular stock high by almost 15% today on very, very good volumes. Neogen Chemicals, 1130 is where the stock is currently trading at, as you can see, high by 15%. The entire auto ancillary pack, hopes continue to be quite strong as far as the trade is concerned. And back of that, have a look at Sona Comstar or Sona BLW, that particular stock high by over 4%. Bharat Forge as well as Motherson, all three of these names doing quite well in the session today. But with that, it's all the time we have on this edition of Midcap Radar. MF Corner when we return.
"26 years of CNBC